Now for my whoopie pie, I've translated the recipe slightly different to the US version, and it changes dramatically when you take an American recipe and change it to the UK with ingredients, particularly flour. And I'm going to make a vanilla and passion fruit whoopie pie. The usual way of starting this is sugar and butter. We're going to whisk this up. I'm going to add a touch of vanilla. You could add a vanilla pod to this, just a touch of vanilla essence. Then it's 2 eggs, followed by 150 ml of milk, and then the same amount of buttermilk. One thing that I found on my travels, and certainly one of the things that I've learned, the use of buttermilk in cakes. It produces a really distinct flavour and also makes it last a little bit longer as well, so it keeps it nice and moist. So you can see the mixture is very wet in here, and then I'm going to combine the flour with some baking powder, about 2 teaspoons. What was impressive as the cakes was Matt's apartment. I think that he's got the best of both worlds, because literally if you live the other side of the river, you get a different view to him and you pay 3 times as much. Now I'm going to use these trays, which are particular for this recipe. These are whoopie pie tins, and they're special tins that allow the mixture to spread out just enough to fill the holes. If you haven't got one of these, you can get them online. If not, you can use sort of a Yorkshire pudding tin. Put the mixture into a piping bag. The reason why I pipe it out is just so that I can start the shape of the whoopie. Now you want to set the oven quite low. This is 170 degrees centigrade, about 350 Fahrenheit, gas 4. And you're going to bake these for 10 minutes. And while that's baking, we're going to make the filling for this. Cream cheese, fresh vanilla, and passion fruit. And just a little bit of double cream. Now I actually don't put any sugar in this because I love the flavour of the passion fruit. You want it to be quite sharp. Fill another piping bag with this simple filling. I think the initial perception about American food is we think they live on burgers and drive-thrus. And there's plenty of burgers and drive-thrus out there, but the strive for perfection is more than it is anywhere else in the world, I suppose. You know, they've got some of the greatest ingredients in the world right on their doorstep. Once they're cooled, they only take about 10 minutes in the oven. You get this sort of pliable, it's not a biscuit, it's not really a cake, it's sort of almost half and half. And then we can fill these up. A quick squeeze of the cream cheese filling and gently sandwich them together. And the secret of these whoopie pies is not only can you flavour the actual mixture themselves, you could put pistachio nuts through it, pistachio paste, chocolate, like Matt did, but you can also exchange and change the fillings as well to complement it. It's a bit like sort of the cupcake. The final touch, a dusting of icing sugar. The whoopie pie certainly was one of the most widely available cakes that was offered to sale in bakeries right across America, but there's my version, a classic American whoopie pie with passion fruit.